So I've rigged up this little jig for painting wheels. So it's just some 4x2 timber and a bar through it. And then I can spin the wheel, because I've noticed when I've painted them just hung up, the paint's not as good at the top as it is at the bottom on the sides. So I thought if I make this jig, I can spin the wheel and paint it more evenly. So worth a try, but quite happy with that for an hour's work. Almost forgot, I just started painting. I've primed these wheels this morning and given them a rub back. So they've had grey primer and then build up white. It needs white primer so the purple pings. So I'm just starting. I thought, shit, I've not videoed it, not recorded it, so I'm just about to record it. So I'm really made up with my little jig for painting wheels, because what I can do is I can hold the can, I can spin the wheel like that and hold the can still, so don't get any runs and I get quite an even coverage. So really happy with that. And the sun's out, so 2 coats of purple. This is the front wheel, and then a coat of clear coat, gloss clear coat. I've got the back wheel there, all done in white primer. So hopefully get these wheels done today. I'll show you the finished result in a bit. Well, wow, that's all I can say. What a colour. They're absolutely gorgeous. They are gorgeous, these wheels. I'm just going to go around it. So that's one complete wheel. If I just spin it, it's hard. 2 coats of purple metallic and a coat of clear coat gloss. And I think they are the nicest, they're just beautiful is the only word. That is the nicest set of wheels I've ever painted, I think. Colour wise, finish, they are stunning. And I'm made up with this little jig I've made. It's worked a treat. So just the back wheel to do now, and let them harden overnight, and I can bolt the disc back on, and they're going to look sweet. Sweet as. Love it. Just draining the fork oil, it absolutely stinks. It's really thin as well, so I reckon it's original. It's just dribbling out. I need 2 hands really, but I just thought I'd tell you how bad the fork oil is. It stinks, but the forks are in really good condition. So some fresh 10 Silcoline to go in it, and they'll be good as new. Well, I have to say it, I think these are the prettiest wheels I've ever done on a resto. They're absolutely stunning. I think you'll agree. Beautiful. It's an absolutely special colour, that, and it's the genuine. It says on the tin when they got the paint mixed, it's the genuine Suzuki colour. So it doesn't get better than that. They've come up absolutely stunning. So I thought you'd be interested to see those. Right, I'm in the workshop. It's a bit of a grim day, and I've got a bulb out up there, so I've had to take the tube out. So I've not got the best lighting today, but you will see I am making progress. We're on the way up. So forks are back in, all refurbished. Not re-chromed because I didn't need it, but the bottoms have been refurbished. We managed to get out the 2 bolts that were in there. One I got halfway out and welded a nut on to screw it out. The other one had to be drilled out. I had to send that away to a mate of mine who does the vapor blasting, and he managed to get it out after 4 drill bits and 3 or 4 nuts welded on. So got them out. Calipers are refurbed. We've got re-zinced fasteners and new pins that hold the pads in. You can't see them, but the brand new genuine ones, and new screws holding the cover plate on, so they're done. Hoses are all connected and refurbed. What else can I show you? Clocks are on. Had a good clean. Resprayed the bracket, only a light dusting. Resprayed the top yoke, same again. All the back ends cleaned up. Took me a while to clean inside the battery box and the wiring loom. That was quite manky. So I've done that. Swinging arms repaired. That bracket down there is welded back on. New riv nut in there, because that went when we got the hugger off. When I got the hugger off, the nice re-zinced chain adjusters are in, and she's looking good. Shocks had the spring powder coated. Can't really see it, but there it is. There you go. And I've given the frame a really good clean, so all around there was disgusting, to be honest, as they all get. So that's all been done. Re-greased all the swinging arm bushes and bearings, they're all good. And the linkage. So today's Sunday morning, I'm on Sunday afternoon actually. Today's task is to get the engine back in that big space. So before and well, here we are with the expansion chambers, and I've managed to clean up, get all the paint off the other exhaust, which was, as you can see, it's a bit lumpy, but all the rust is gone, and the bit that's on show, which is that bit, is lovely, in good condition, because the bike's never been damaged, so it was just corrosion. So both exhausts there, I'm going to use some high temp satin black on these. So a couple of coats, warm them up with the heat gun down the exhaust, which works a treat because they need to be kind of, what's the word? Hardened. The heat of an exhaust hardens the paint. So rather than wait till the bike started, I do it as I paint them with a heat gun, and it seems to work a treat. So the paint I'm using is this stuff, RHT Satin Black, Engine Black. So I've got half a tin there, and I've got another tin, brand new tin there, so that'll be enough for 2 pipes. Heat gun, and the trusty wheel painting stand will come in handy again. So that's before, and I will show you after in a bit. And as if by magic, here we go. I'm really pleased how these have turned out, considering the state they were in a few days ago. That satin high temp paint is really good. They've had 2 coats, so you can see absolutely perfect around the stamping of the logo and the cut and the serial number, especially on the bottom right hand side exhaust. Absolutely perfect. And even the where it was pitted, it's turned out really well. Yeah, there's still pitting there. You don't actually see that, but considering how bad they were, I'm really pleased with those. Marvellous. So the bits that are on show as well, so the thin pipe and where the little heel guard is on the other pipe, that goes to the top of the two exhausts. That's of the two that's stacked, that's the top one. So yeah, absolutely. Turned out really good. So I recommend that paint I showed you before. So 2 coats, half an hour between coats, so they're still a bit tacky. Heat them up with a heat gun, put the heat gun down the nozzle of the exhaust and leave the heat gun in there for a few minutes. And they start to, you can smell them drying. It cures this high temp paint. It's not like normal paint. It needs the heat to make it go off. So that's the last big dirty job that needs doing on the bike. So the wheels and the pipes and the cleaning the engine, those are the 3 big jobs on this bike. So yeah, not far off now. Good news this morning, the power valve gaskets that have been very slow getting here from my usual place on eBay have turned up. So we've got the gaskets themselves, the lovely vapor blasted covers, and all 8 re-zinced screws. So I'm just about to fit these, then we can get the power valves connected, all hoses back on, and she's coming together. Carbs can go on then. Not long till we're going to hear her run. It's a sunny Wednesday morning. Not that you can see it in here. Anyway, here we go. We are making, well, I keep saying we. I mean I, because there's nobody helping me. I'm making good progress, as you can see. Engine's back in, subframe's back in. I've just started putting pipework back in place, making progress at the front, so the horn's in. What else is on? Power valve. I mean, the power valves go around this side. Power valves are all rigged up, which is never a nice job. So they're in place. I'm just about to do a bit of the back end. So the back end's getting the rear caliper and all the hosing in place and the master cylinder next. It's easier to put that in before you put the exhaust on. Then I'll go and put the exhaust on, because it's a bit, I'm not going to put the radiator on until last. So the exhaust going on so it can fit easily underneath and in there. So we've got a bit of room with that radiator. Generally, I've discovered over the years, putting the radiator on last makes your life a lot easier. So looking at the front end, I think I showed you this last time, calipers are on. No fluid in them yet. I need to get tyres on the wheels. And I'm just waiting for the front fairing subframe to come back from blasting. He was only managed to get in half the stuff done last week, so coming up is the getting that back and get that painted. But yeah, really making progress now. There's even oil in the oil tank. Carbs aren't in yet. But yeah, making good progress. Just about to start having a look at all the plastics. So it's all laid out there. So we got the left hand side panel, V pieces attached to that, the tailpiece in 2 halves, front fairing headlight, right hand side fairing panel and the front mudguard, and then behind there we've got the hugger. There's the hugger. So all going to get a big deep clean. I'll strip this tail down because it's in, like I say, it's in 2 halves and there's a separate piece in there, but all just needs a deep clean, degrease, and then a good polish. Good news is all the tabs all intact, which is a rarity on such an old bike. Even the front mudguard's intact, so a few scratches, mainly I guess because the bike's been stored in various different garages and sheds, mainly from being moved around and being brushed past, and that's how they usually get all these marks. There's a few there on the front of the fairing, but I think most of it will polish out. The only little bit of damage is underneath, but that's from probably being moved around as well. And then we've got a couple of little scratches there because I know the bike's been just dropped at like walking pace. But most of all this will polish out and you'll be amazed how it all cleans up. So a good few hours cleaning, degreasing and polishing. I'll show you the results later when the sun's out properly. So some of you will know that RGVs have, with the carburation, they've got some air solenoids. Now here's here's the engine bay with the carbs, etc. and you'll notice loads of hoses. So some of you might be interested in what these do. It's only on later 21 models and 22s and 23s going forward, but these are the main air solenoids. Now on earlier RGVs that have solenoids, there's only one with 2 feeds, but on these later ones, P's and R models, there's 2. So there's one up there, one down there, and this one wasn't routed correctly. So main air solenoid goes via the solenoid filter, which is that, and the air solenoid also, so one of them goes to the main circuit, the main jet circuit, which is that, and then the other part of it goes to pilot jet circuit, which is at the bottom. So the main reason for these solenoids is to smooth out throttle response, manage airflow to the carbs, and just generally make them run smoother. I guess ultimately trying to take away the viciousness of a power band combined with power valves, and even some of the later ones controlled the power valve as well. So it's mega important you get these hoses correct. Once you get it right, it's obvious. So what we've got is the right hand side solenoid runs down that pipe to the main air jet system. The left hand one, out of this equivalent nozzle, runs down to the left hand carb there, and then underneath this is the pilot jet circuit, which runs to the bottom of the carb on both. But mega important you get them on, because apparently if you don't have them on, especially on the main jet, when you're flat out and it's not on, you could seize the bike. So mega important, that's right. One other thing, you see these big long hoses that go right round. They're like, if you're familiar with the Yamaha 2-strokes, when you grew up on your RD125LC or whatever, or with RD8TLC. They're like the energy induction, so they kind of damp the input of the fuel and air mixture. So it's after the carb, so it goes up there and kind of stores the fuel air mixture ready for the next cycle of the engine. That's how I understand it, and that's another thing to just smooth out. It's all about smoothing out a power band so they ride easier. So I thought you might be interested in that. If not, skip through and watch the next bit. So today I'll just go back here. So today I'm mainly starting to restore the plastics. There they are down there, and a few on the floor. They don't need any paint, they just need a damn good clean polish, checking over. And then the things left to do on the bike is tyres on the wheels, obviously fit the wheels then and the sprocket down there. Bleed front and rear brakes once the wheels are back, because you can't do it without the discs being in place. And then I will instate the radiator and get the cooling system up to scratch, and then we're probably ready for start up. I want to start her up before the plastics go on anyway. So that's today, hopefully, and tyres won't be today because I've got to order them in, but we're not far off. Well, after many hours today, and it's a beautiful day because it's lovely and sunny and warm, the plastics have had a good T-cut buff and polish, and I'm pretty pleased with how they've come out. There's a few marks on them. I mean, you can't really see them on the video here. So we've got the top fare in there, that's gleaming. I mean, these haven't had a cut back as well, so they're still going to have some polish on top when they're fitted to the bike. So that is gleaming. Likewise, the two side panels, there was a deep scratch on that left hand one there, well, the right hand side panel, but on the left you can barely see now. If I zoom in there, no, you can't see it really. Then we've got the two tailpiece panels and the rear T-piece gleaming again, and finally the mudguard, where you can see my reflection there, that's how shiny it is, and the V-piece. V-pieces are hard to get too top shiny back. They always have a little line down the middle where the road debris hits it, but overall I'm really pleased. Deep shine on those, and you can see my reflection in it. Happy days. It's going to look smart on the bike.